Yeah. So it's weird to watch the TV when it's delayed like it is. I mean, that's like a couple minutes ago.
There goes the pen.
But you guys are going to be on TV, so just warning you. Should I be a good example here? Okay, you guys be quiet down there. Okay, the hour being 7 o'clock, I'll call this meeting to order, and if we could have the students from the National Honor Society lead us in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I kind of think in my head I've got this, that you guys are the debate team or something, but it's not, even though I'm sure a lot of you are, it's not quite the same thing, and I'm thinking, 1, 2, 3, they got to start at a certain time. Let's see. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Mayor,
Councilwoman Mays.
I move that we approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilwoman Mays, seconded by Councilman Shuttrin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, first item up is citizen requests and other communications. So is there anybody that's not on the agenda that would like to address the council? Okay, so we have Susie It is Susie, not Cindy, right? I got it right. This is Susie Von Aaron's here from, and she'll introduce herself to tell us what it's all about. Go ahead, Susie.
I gotta stand on my Okay. Okay. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Susie Von Ahrens, and I am here to represent the Sweetwater County Walk to End Alzheimer's Committee. As you probably are aware, Alzheimer's is a devastating and deadly disease. It is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. 1 in every senior die from Alzheimer's or other dementia. Every 65 seconds, someone in the United States develops the disease, and more than 58 million people are living with Alzheimer's, 10,000 of which are from Wyoming. Alzheimer's costs the nation annually $290 billion a year. Healthcare costs are rising tremendously, and it's devastating families. Besides the disease itself, it's the healthcare costs. It's just devastating. On a personal note, my grandmother, 2 aunts, my dad's twin brother have all died from Alzheimer's, and my father now is living with the disease at Deer Trails Assisted Living in Rock Springs. It's terrible to go see him when we can right now through the window, and he looks at me thinking, why are you outside? Why are you wearing a muzzle on your face? And all these things, and he just doesn't understand it, and I feel so bad for him. He's went downhill just because he hasn't been able to have any visitors. It's just terrible. So I am here for your support, basically, for our fundraiser, our 3rd annual Walk to End Alzheimer's. The last 2 years it's been in Rock Springs. Since we are calling ourselves Sweetwater County now, we wanted to have this year's event in Green River. And we have arranged it to be on Friday night, August 28th at Evers Park. We will have a 5 o'clock check-in, 6:30 ceremony. And Mayor, if you could possibly speak at it for just a few minutes, that would be awesome.
No problem.
Okay. A 7 o'clock walk, and we want to go around the island And then if people want to walk on the green belt or around the island again or wherever they want to walk, and then just meet back at Evers Park for a big barbecue and raffle items at 8 o'clock. We will adhere to the currently 250 people outdoor event guidelines put on by the state. Hopefully that increases so we have more people. Last year I believe we had almost 450 people in Rock Springs. So we would like to have at least that many if we could possibly in Green River. And we like to alternate Green River and Rock Springs every year. So, I mean, we would like Green River to come to Rock Springs, and we're hoping Rock Springs will come to Green River. You can also, we would like you guys to sign up and form a walk team. You can sign up at alz.org/walk. We also have a Sweetwater County website. It's Sweetwater County Walk to End Alzheimer's. You can get some more information on there. And do you guys have any questions?
Anybody have any questions for Susie? Good. And I know that people in Green River know which way the road goes to Rock Springs. I'm not quite so sure that the other folks know how to go this way, but
We're going to work on that.
okay, good.
All right.
Thank you, Susie. We're definitely in support of it, and we're excited to have it in Green River.
Okay.
So
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much. Thanks.
Okay, item 5, public hearing. Public hearing to consider a request for a special use permit filed by the Green River High School Honor Society. The Green River High School National Honor Society is seeking consideration for a special use permit approval for the construction of a dog park to be located on the city's property at 80 East Teton Boulevard. The property is located within the Greenbelt Conservation Overlay District and therefore requires a special use permit approval. The proposed site is located next to the animal control, which is zoned I-1, open lands, and is located within the Greenbelt Conservation Overlay District. Development within the Conservation Overlay District zone requires a special use permit by the governing body. Okay, so I've opened this public hearing. Amy, did you want to say anything about this, or do you want to wait and see if there's any questions? If you do, go ahead and introduce yourself at the mic. Okay. Okay. Does anybody have any questions of Amy representing the Planning and Zoning Commission, correct? Community Development. Yes, go ahead, Lisa, or Councilwoman Mays.
Okay. Well, I had a question, and I'm really excited to see a dog park go in because I've been to the dog park in Rock Springs, and it just looks like a load of fun for the dogs. And it's nice for people to have a place to take them. The only question I have on that is there going to be a department responsible for going and checking on the park and making sure that, because sometimes, I mean, most people are responsible about picking up after their dogs, but I watch people all the time, you know, that don't. So is there an answer to that question?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Brad Rainey, Parks and Recreation Director. The maintenance would fall to our department, mowing and things like that. Once this is developed, we'd like to have a committee after they've done their part to kind of manage rules similar to how we have for the horse corrals. It would be more than one department. Animal control would probably have some things that they need to address there. But as far as, I guess, day-to-day maintenance, watering, mowing, and things like that, that would be the Parks and Recreation Department.
Okay. And I want to thank these young people for stepping up and doing that. That was incredible. Thank you.
Any other comments from the council? Yeah, I'd just like to say, because I'm not sure, other than we'll do the resolution right away for this too, and then I'm going to go into a 1-minute recess and you guys can book. But sure. I'm just really excited about this, you know, and you guys might have even brought this to my attention, but you know, it's something that travelers, it's a big deal for travelers to have a dog park that you can, you know, as you're traveling Interstate 80, you can stop and let your dog get some exercise. So it's not only good for the local people here, it's good for our tourists and the economy there. So hopefully it'll bring some people in, and I think it's going to be a huge success. I think being on the Greenbelt, you know, the folks, it would be nice, for instance, maybe more of the folks that walk the Greenbelt will have the opportunity to let their dog loose in a bigger area and get some exercise. So I think it's going to be a great addition to Green River, and the way that the parks, are you guys the ones that put up all that fencing? Was it Parks that did all that? So all that area looks much, much nicer than it has in past years. So we're really excited, and thank you so much to everybody for doing that. So, anybody else have any comments?
Short one. Good evening. My name is Victoria Hemphill. I'm the National Honor Society advisor, and I'm also an English teacher at Green River High School. You may remember us. We showed up at a meeting about 3 years ago saying we have an idea. In that time, we have met with the Horse Corral Committee, got their input. We have attended a city council meeting with you guys to share information. We have fundraised, and fundraised. In the fall of 19, we held a public hearing. Brad Rainey helped us plan and execute that. Then we had fun, we planned, we picked toys, obstacles, we had meetings, more meetings. We met with the City Review Committee. We had a planning and zoning Zoom committee meeting. And now here we are back at City Council asking for you to hear us and to give the city a park that we can use forever. This could not be possible without Mike Brown, Brad Rainey, Darren Howard, and all of the NHS members that have worked on this for 3 years. This is Rory Ann Ratliff. She was the president this year, so she took on a lot of extra duties.
I gotta move this, I'm a little taller. So basically what I just want to talk about was why our NHS decided to do this, because I was kind of at the beginning, I started at NHS kind of when this idea started as well. And I've been able to go along with the journey of NHS, and we basically wanted to make something that was impactful, because one of our 4 pillars is service, and that includes community service. So we wanted to make sure that our NHS would leave something lasting for the community and something that would bring people joy. So when we brought up the idea of a dog park, we kind of just ran with it and didn't really have any clue of what we were doing. But we wanted to make sure that we go through all the steps properly, make sure this was done properly, so we could leave this and make sure it was or it would stay attained throughout the years, so that everyone would remember that NHS or National Honor Society or even a group of high schoolers did this. And while I'm up here real quick with Mike Brown, so he doesn't have any room to say anything, we're going to actually name the park after him, because he stepped in and helped us tremendously. Like, this probably would not have been done as quickly as possible without his help. So we're going to go ahead and name it the Mike Brown Dog Park for you. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Councils, anybody? Councilman Murphy.
I want to thank the National Honor Society gals and the teacher. I'm one of the firefighters here in Green River, and it made us feel real proud to have you guys come over and chalk in front of our building for us. The only thing I wish that we could got the girls or whoever that did it, get a picture of it for Facebook. It was very nice, because in all honesty, a lot of people don't really thank the firefighters for what we do, but we were very appreciative of that.
Thanks, Councilman Murphy.
And nothing too from the utility side, with the grant that we'd also done, that Brad had worked on with the parks, with the trees. Today we actually installed the water service down there for that, but we tied it in with the dog park as well, and that just went in today. So.
Cool.
It's good.
Yeah, excellent. It's going to be a great new addition. Thanks again, everybody. So I'm going to go right on to this resolution that relates to this dog park, and then I'll give you guys, then we'll have a recess real quick, okay? So resolutions on 6A, consideration of a resolution approving a special use permit for the construction of a dog park. within the Greenbelt Conservation Overlay District. So we know what this is for. We just had it. There's no suggested motion in here, but there is one in the, under the meeting. We do have we are going to do a motion for this, correct? Reed? Okay. Councilman, go ahead, Councilman Zimmerman.
I move to approve the resolution granting approval of special use permit filed by Green River High School National Honor Society for the construction of a dog park to be located within the Greenbelt Conservation Overlay District.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, we have 2 seconds. Let's see, which one did we hear first? Mr. Councilman Murphy made the second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. We're going to take a 1-minute recess, just in case, well, I'm sure you guys don't have homework to do, but thanks again for all that you did. It's going to be cool. Okay, we're going to, recess is over. Item 7, council action items. Item 8, consideration to approve District 4 annual operating permit. Go ahead, Larry.
Mayor, Council, Larry Erdman, Green River Fire Department. So this annual operating plan is a plan that we started to become part of last year with the rest of the state, actually, but it's broken down into different regions or different districts. This one shows what it is it's the plan of how the different agencies for the fire services are going to work together for wildland fires, and that's what this is all based on, is wildland fires. So with this gives us our 24-hour agreement to work with each other. If there was a fire in Green River, that would give us BLM, County Fire, Rock Springs Fire, anybody who's part of this plan will come and help us to extinguish the fire within the city for 24 hours free of charge. And then after that, it's the plan of how to bill us if we needed them, or if they was to request us out in the county or somewhere else in the state, we'd be able to bill them. This is just the breakdown of how that goes, and then what plans we use to how everybody's going to get called and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, I think it's pretty straightforward. You guys have read this. Any questions for Larry? Okay, we'll entertain a motion.
Mayor,
Councilman Shuttrin.
I move to approve the District 4 annual operating plan and to authorize the mayor to sign the agreement pending legal approval.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Shuttrin, seconded by Councilman Murphy. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I was just gonna have Larry explain.
I know what you're going to have. Let them make the big announcement.
So last year, we used it twice. Once when we had the landfill fire, we had BLM, County Fire, and other entities come in to help us out with extinguishing that fire, which was right around 105 acres is where that ended up being. So without the help of the outside agencies, that thing could have really got out of control, and then we could have been billed pretty big for it because it was started on our land and then went to BLM, so BLM could charge us a trespass fee for that fire going onto their property. So that annual operating plan helped out in that situation. And then when we had the BLM or the Big Island fire, we was able to bill the state for that, and we was able to get some reimbursement back to the city for the use of our equipment and stuff on that fire. So we did use it a couple times last year, and it worked out pretty good. So.
Okay, thanks, Larry. Let Tom, let him, okay. Okay, Consent agenda. We entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Mayor,
Councilwoman Mays.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Mays, seconded by Councilman Berg. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. City Administrator's report. Mr. Clevenger.
I'm sure you can hear me from here. So, the only thing I have is next Tuesday, just a reminder, we have our workshop. We're starting the workshops again. 6:30 p.m. It will be for the daycare. Andy Cox, Community Development Park, has been putting together a lot of information. We had quite a bit there. We'll probably resend some of the stuff that we've done just to refresh your memory, getting into it, and see if there's anything changes from the state statutorily or COVID-oriented if we need to discuss that as well.
Okay, thank you, Reed. Mr. City Attorney. Thank you, Galen. Okay, let's see. Go ahead, Councilman Kilpack.
Okay, I've got about 14 things I would like to bring up, but I'll only do 3. It's good to be back in the council room. This is our second time, and it's just good to be back. I just don't like the Zoom. I hope we don't ever have to do Zoom again, but it's good to be back. But as I was driving over tonight to the council meeting, I noticed they're putting flowers up on Main Street, and they really, really look nice. And I just want to congratulate those that are putting those flowers up. That makes our downtown look nice.
Contract with the URA Main Street.
Yep.
We've also added a couple other areas for that contract, and we also have had some businesses donate some new some new planting areas to some other businesses in town. So you'll see a lot more going down on First and some of the other areas.
It really, really looks nice. So I just want to recognize that. And then the last thing I have is my hat's off to the Parks and Rec Department, Brad Rainey and his group, for becoming a finalist for the 2020 National Gold Medal Awards, Parks and Recreation. That's a national thing, and congratulations, Brad, and tell your department we're proud of them. And let's hope that what you guys do to as you're recognized as the top 5 in the nation, maybe you'll end up being number 1. Even if you're not number 1 to us, you're number 1. So thank you. That's all I have.
Thanks, Councilman Kilpack. Councilman Mays.
And I'll echo that. Congratulations for getting to be a finalist. Hopefully, we get it this year. But I've always thought that we have a great Parks and Recreation department, and like Gary said, you're number 1. You guys do a wonderful job, and I just know that for working there for a long time. Everybody works very hard. That's all I have.
Thanks, Lisa. Councilman Chutrin.
I have no reports this evening.
Thanks, Mike. Councilman Zimmerman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. All I wanted to say was with everything that's going on in the country, it really resonates deep within me, and I hope a lot of our citizens of what we think of our police department and our fire department. And Larry, would you say it's nice not having to worry whether the police are making a way for you to get to a fire? Absolutely. So I'm thankful I live in Wyoming, I'm thankful I live in Green River, and I'm thankful that we honor and cherish our police and fire here in our town of Green River. So thank you guys for what you do. Appreciate everything you do. And shop local, buy American. Thank you.
Nice job, Councilman Zimmerman. Councilman Murphy.
The only thing I have is the fire department did go out this afternoon, and we did remove the giant root ball off of the U-drop. Very successful, even if we did have a bunch of rafters come down as we were doing it. But yeah, we took care of it, so that's no longer there.
Thanks, Councilman Murphy. Councilman Berg.
I'd just like to echo what everybody said as far as Brad and the Parks and Rec Department and what they've done as far as the beautification of the city. I know each one of us, as far as council and the mayor, would probably like to shake Brad's hand for all his hard work, but since, COVID, I was wondering if we could just give Brad a round of applause.
Yeah, there you go.
That's an awesome thing, Brad. Good job.
Thanks, Councilman Beck. Nice job. So I want to echo everybody's. I did write something on the sheriff's post that he did put today that supporting our law enforcement. That's certainly, obviously, the Grand River Police Department, and I think Councilman Zimmerman said it as well as I can. And we really appreciate, and I think all the people in Green River support, almost all the people in Green River support the police department and the fire department in the way that they should. So again, we really appreciate what you're doing. Really appreciate. I've heard lots of comments on the Parks Department and that award. So great job, Brad, to you and all your staff. And the reason why they're doing it is the parks look great. I mean, they really do look nice everywhere. And that extra work that we were able to get from the people that had to do retraining and things like that while this whole COVID thing went on, it really shows in lots of different places. And by the way, also for the Public Works, and we certainly saw a lot of overlays. Boy, those guys are quick, aren't they? It's amazing, and I hope that perhaps it looked to me that we cut $100,000 from. It wasn't. It's a slightly different overlay, right? It's ones that are just a little bit worse off, but maybe with some good news and funding somewhere along the line, maybe we can restore that and get the next level. A few of those done too this summer. Go ahead, Mark.
Mayor, just to a little bit of education. Anytime I can talk about slurry seal, I try to do that because there is some misunderstanding there. It is the slurry seal. It's nice and black and dark and looks like an overlay. It's only about that thick, but it is a pavement preservation technique. And by applying the slurry seal every few years, we're able to protect those investments that we've made in the newer streets. It is one that's particularly cost effective for us. It's about $2.25 a square yard versus about 100 times that for pavement. So it's a very effective, cost effective one for us.
Thanks, Mark. And then Reed has allowed me to just give you guys the sales tax numbers, and of course I didn't bring them. So what was Yeah, 675, 148, and we were thinking, we being Chris Meets and Reed in particular, that it would likely be under 500,000, both the last really 2 months. So and you know, when I did speak to the gal at the Department of Revenue, and of course they'll come out with this information either it was today or tomorrow, and I looked it up, and of course with my computer skills I wasn't able to find it today, but where they break it down by sector. And I think it would be very interesting, you know, in terms of the mining, commercial. We do hear, and I quoted Lisa, you know, in terms of motorcycle sales. There's also a lot of cars you see with, you know, the temporary license plates. So I think that it's going to be interesting to see which sectors. And of course, when I talked to this lady about it, she said, you know, not everybody in the state is in the same position that we're in terms of, because I was shocked by that number. It's a really high number, and it puts us in a really good position. If you're the finance people, it adds about another $175,000 to the budget. If you're the mayor and you're the optimist, it's $200,000.
Your finance are still worried.
Yeah, correct. So the only other thing, so that's really good news. I mean, that's a chunk of money, whichever group that interpretation you get. I always want to remind people that, in part because of the COVID thing and all kinds of different things shutting down, we still have 4,000 people that haven't registered for the census. Inexcusable, if I may say so. And so hopefully, in as much as the family unit basically is about 4 people in Green River on average, it's about 1,000 families that we're not getting counted is really what it amounts to, approximately. So if you know anybody, encourage them. It absolutely, it's a ton of money over 10 years to the city. It's very, very, very important. It just can't be stressed enough. And it's very, very, very simple. It's easy. You guys, I'm sure everybody in this room has done it. Let's see if I can find a guilty.
What's the deadline, Mayor?
It's, I believe it's the end of July. Yeah. It actually extends in longer, but I think the collection date is right at the end of July. The end, the middle, right in there. And the only other thing I want to remind people is I had my mask on at least for a little while, and as you get more people in a room and as you're got more still air for a longer time, you have to be more careful, obviously. And so when it's appropriate, wear your mask, follow the 6-foot social distancing when it's appropriate. It doesn't have to be in every circumstance. We are learning a lot all the time, and outside's better and all those different kinds of things. Send one person to the store when you're shopping if possible. What am I missing on the other? There's 2 more. The face. Oh, correct, thank you. Don't touch your T-zone, and the other one, good, is hand washing. 30 seconds. 20? Right on top of it. Okay, with that, we'll enter Councilman Kilpack.
Mayor, I make a motion we adjourn to executive session for personnel matters.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we're adjourned to executive session.
Right.